Hi, I'm here with Trinity San Antonio, and I want to start by asking you a couple of strange questions. So the first one is, have you ever been to San Antonio?
To San Antonio, Texas?
Yeah.
No, I haven't actually. But
Why?
yeah, Texas is a little farther than California, and there's not really a reason besides my name for me to go there. But I have like family in Texas, but not really in San Antonio. So maybe one day I'll go. I don't know, but I haven't been yet.
Okay, okay. And there's an issue. I don't know if you want to call it an issue, but there is a thing with your height that I would like us to explain. So you're listed at 5'8", but you used to be listed at 5'10" in some
Uh-huh.
publications. So did you grew down or what happened?
Like I didn't even realize that until now, until you asked me that like I my height kind of changed. But yeah, I would say I didn't even realize that that was happening. I kind of just, show up and play. Like I don't really look at what's on the thing. So
Hmm.
no, I didn't grow down, but yeah, that was out of my control. Like I
Okay.
don't know what people put on the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't control it. Yeah. I mean, people
Yeah.
get smaller with age actually, but it happens when you're like
Yeah.
60 or something. So, maybe you're just aging backwards. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. And and last question that may sound strange is how does it feel to lose?
How does it feel to lose?
Yes. Since you're
Um,
in Toulouse, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I had to ask that again because I didn't know if you were asking like how does it feel to be in Toulouse or to lose?
Yeah, that's why I phrased it
Yeah.
so strangely to make it sound like yeah.
Yeah.
So how does
How
it
does
feel
it
to be in
feel to
Toulouse if we can just,
Okay.
scale that?
It feels good. Like I want to say like there's a sense of familiarity in it because like I've been to France before. Like I know kind of like how it looks and how it feels. But yeah, I would say I like it. I went to a festival yesterday. Apparently, there's a really big local festival,
Hmm.
like with music artists and stuff. And I didn't know what anybody was saying the entire time, but like I still enjoyed my time and I still hung out with my teammates. So it was fun, and I think it
Hmm.
feels familiar here.
Okay. So Texas was too far when you were in California, but France was not. Okay. You must have had a pretty good reason to be in France. Tell us more about it. What happened? How did you end up in France the first time?
Well, the first time I actually went, like this is besides from when I went to the Olympics, but
Okay.
I actually been to Paris and Bordeaux with my mom for like a little girls trip because it's just me and my mom, and then I have three brothers. So it was just me and my mom who decided to take a girls trip. So we went to Paris for the first time. And then the second time I went was actually for the Olympics. So that was like a full circle moment. Like, wow, like when I was younger, I came and now I'm here, but I'm here for something else and something a lot bigger. But
Okay.
yeah, this will be my third time in France, so
Hmm.
third time's a charm. So I'm
And
excited.
and may I ask about the first time because this is interesting. How old were you? And what did the two of you do?
I was maybe about like I want to say like 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
So yeah, we had just went on like in America we have like this thing called like EF tours. I don't know if they have that in Europe, but basically like our school like puts together a group of kids and like we pay for basically a trip abroad and we get to like
Okay.
tour around different sites and stuff. So yeah, we took a little trip and then we took a detour throughout the trip and went to Greece and then came back on the trip and finished out our trip. But it was really fun. I had a good time, especially
Okay.
at 16 years old. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really fun.
so it's very like teenage comedy like stuff,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, sounds like it totally. So what are your plans for this season? And
Um,
when it comes to like your team has just been promoted, so it's probably to avoid relegation is like the minimum goal.
uh-huh.
And what else for the team and for you
Um,
personally?
for the team, obviously we would love to win, but like kind of like stamping our place, like and saying that like this city deserves to be in first league, I think is our primary goal. Like we don't want to be in a position where we're having to fight back down to stay in first league or playing out to go back into second league. So I think that's just the primary goal for now. You know, we're all still figuring each other out. Like I know a couple girls have played together in the past and stuff, but I think for now, as a team, our primary goal is to, stay within first league and, play against these top teams that, have some good competition and show what we're about.
Yeah, the league is pretty tough. Do
Yeah.
people were you recognized on the streets or not yet?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
Maybe that'll come later, but not yet,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, that's yeah. So I want to ask you so your second time in France, in
hmm
Paris at the Olympics, how did that come about?
Like how did I start playing for
Yeah,
the
how did
team
you
or
start playing?
okay.
Because since you're from California, maybe let's go way back. And
Okay.
I would like to ask you, how did you start playing for the national team?
So, funny story, my brother actually played before me. So, my brother played for the Puerto Rican, like under, I want to say like 16U, 17U, and they went to Argentina and placed in a tournament. So, I think that's really how it started. Like when my brother got recognition and was like, oh, like that family is actually pretty good at basketball. So, then it came along when it was my turn, and then I think it was going into my sophomore year of college. I was maybe like 18 years old at the time, and my dad called me when I was on a family vacation with my other brother and was like, "Hey, like the Puerto Rican national team wants you to come." And I was like, "What? Like they want me? Like that's crazy. Like I'm so young to be able to play for like the top team for the national Puerto Rican national team." But yeah, I've been playing with them since I was like 18 years old, so it's kind of funny. The girls are like, we're literally watching me grow up, like out of college and grow up into a woman. So it's kind of cute that like I started out young and like I'm just evolving throughout that whole entire process.
Okay, so both your parents are Boricuas, right?
My father is. My
Father.
mother is from Los Angeles, so that's hence the
Okay,
California. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So was the fact that he was from Puerto Rico a big deal for him? Meaning, did he like, I don't know, care about the heritage, teach you about, the customs in the quote unquote old country, stuff like that?
Uh-huh. He never taught me Spanish. The one thing you're supposed to know, he never taught me. So it's okay though. The way he explained it to me is he was like, I want you to learn that culture for yourself. So
Okay,
I'm
that's
glad
good.
that basketball is kind of my avenue for me to explore my culture and find out what it really means to me. Because, what something means for me can be different for something what means for you. So I'm just glad I'm able to figure out like my place in Puerto Rico and figuring out how I can leave a footprint. But yeah, I would say my dad is pretty prideful in the fact that I play for the Puerto Rican national team, especially my abuela that lives on the island. She's always like, I watch every one of your games, da 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 da. Like she has my photo on the newspapers in her house. Like yeah. It's just nice to see that like I'm actually doing something for Puerto Rico.
Okay. And so you get called up and then you just grow up in the system and you get to play at the Olympics. And during the Olympics, during one of the interviews, like prior to the Olympics, you referred to yourself as an underdog. And I just want to stress that you weren't talking about the team, but yourself. What did you mean by that?
I think that just really comes from my upbringing. Like I didn't have a lot of opportunities as other girls had, especially when it comes to basketball. Like I always kind of had to fight my way to be seen or be recognized. So I guess that chip on my shoulder that I have, that is why my motor is so high and I choose to play hard with a lot of fight and with a lot of heart. Like that's where my mentality as an underdog comes in. But yeah, I give credit to all the underdogs who have to do all the dirty work and do all the stuff behind the scenes because it's not easy and you don't get rewarded a lot. But my biggest reward was the Olympics. So I'm glad
Okay.
that that was able to happen.
Okay. And what's your like best memory from the Olympics?
Best memory from the
Yeah.
Olympics. Oh, this is so embarrassing. So
Okay.
on media day, I actually forgot my jersey in the like little village we were staying in.
hmm
So we had practice and the plan was to get ready after practice and go straight to media. So I got to the practice and I was like, practice had ended, and I look at my bag and I'm like, oh my God, like I don't have my jersey. And everybody's getting ready, and I'm just sitting there like freaking out a little bit, like I don't have my jersey. So I go and I ask, I was like, hey, can I like run back really quickly and grab my jersey? And everybody started freaking out. And then we ended up having to get an Uber back to the village. And I ended up having to get ready in my room really quickly and then put on my jersey, grab everything, and then run back and get in another Uber. And it was raining, it was pouring, but the pictures came out good, so no complaints. But yeah, I would say that's my most memorable experience as a rookie. That was definitely a rookie move. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And what was special? Was there anything special about that Puerto Rican team? If you were to put like a label on you guys, because I got to interview India Pagan earlier,
Mhm.
and she was really like happy with the experience. She even had like the tracksuit on her, the Olympic tracksuit, when we were conducting the interview, which was pretty cool. If you were to like put, I don't know, like a label on that team, meaning like use one team to describe it, what sort of word would you use?
Um, I would say inspirational.
Okay.
Like we came in like, nobody expected us to fight the way that we did. Like we were supposed to be on the bottom and get completely blown out the waters. But the fact that we showed up and we fought with all we had, and it may have not turned out the result that we had wanted, but the fact that we showed up and we fought and we show what we are and who we are, I would say that that just describes sort of an inspirational term behind like who we are, what we stand for, and just the island in general.
Okay. And what was your best game so far for the Puerto Rican national team? And why was it the game against Mexico? When you had 17 points, six assists, four steals, 85% shooting back at America. Or was it a different game? I don't know.
I would say stats wise, my best game was probably during the World Cup when I played against China. I think I
Mhm.
had like a really, really good game, but outcome wise, Mexico was by far the best game. Yeah. I think during that game, I just, we were down for literally the whole game. So I just kept telling myself, like, keep going, don't stop. Like, whatever you do, do not stop. Because when the clock ticks, that's when you can stop. So yeah, I just kept going. I kept going. And then, I also had a little bit else I was fighting for when one of my teammates gets hurt. It lights a different type of fire in you. So yeah, I kind of did it for them, like without even
Okay.
realizing I was doing it for other people. Like I kind of did it for them. So that was
Yeah,
the
like
most special
whenever you
part.
put on that jersey, you're doing it for other people as well,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Which is
Yeah.
super cool. Yeah. And that's the underdog mentality that you're describing basically, right? You need to
Uh-huh.
keep going until the very end. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so staying on the topic of underdog mentality, you've had sort of it's interesting how you progressed as a player
Hmm.
because you started out at California Baptist, but you weren't a
Uh-huh.
surefire starter. Then you've become a starter as a sophomore, but instead of staying, you transferred to Grand Canyon and played for the Antelopes, right?
Uh-huh.
That's like so. Why did you decide to transfer after becoming a starter?
Um, I think for me it was a little different because like Cal Baptist University is literally 15 minutes from my house. So I kind of wanted to get away from home. Like I felt like I was kind of outgrowing that environment. Like I needed something new that like my home just wasn't giving me anymore. So I decided to, take a step and choose a different place to find a home in and find myself. So that was kind of like the reasoning behind it. And then the reasoning for choosing Grand Canyon was, within like NCAA, you have a lot of like restrictions when it comes to academics. So like only schools that would accept my academics like full out without me having to drop classes or lose credit would be another Christian school. So I was like, great, like the only other Christian school I can think of is in my conference. So that's amazing.
Okay.
But yeah, so then I
Yeah.
ended up deciding to go there and it all worked out the way it was supposed to. Like I have no regrets, no hard feelings, but yeah, it all worked out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah, that was supposed to be my next question, actually. Like, how hard was it for other schools to accept your grade? So I guess it's a common issue for athletes in
Yeah.
general, and you would have
Yeah.
to take extra classes, and nobody wants that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Not when you're not when you're playing basketball.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just play some ball. Okay, so when did the decision to become pro actually appear in your head? When you were like, "Hey, I'm pretty good at this, and I can actually play basketball for a living."
I think it was after my first tournament with Puerto Rico. I was like, wow, like I didn't even know I was this good, you know? Like sometimes you don't believe in yourself because sometimes you don't get the opportunities that you see everybody else getting and you tend to compare yourself. But once I saw like the ability that I have on the court, especially with women who are a lot older and a lot more experienced and
Hmm.
have a lot more accolades, like I was like, wow, like this can actually be an avenue for myself that I maybe didn't really believe in before, but now it's kind of full go, full send. Like this is what I want to do.
Okay, so it wasn't like an U18 game. It was actually an adult Puerto Rico
Yeah, yeah,
national
yeah,
team game.
yeah. I
Okay,
I never played for U18. I only played for the like top
the
level like
okay, so
national.
they
Oh, yeah.
just scouted you when you were 18. Okay, I thought that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they that you progressed through the
Filter that.
system.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And so we already talked a bit about California. You coming from Moreno Valley, California.
Mhm.
What it's like? What it's like? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to sound. Yeah. Okay.
I would say Moreno Valley is a really like it's a really small city. Like it's on the outskirts. It's about 2 hours from LA with traffic, 2 hours from San Diego with traffic. So you're kind of in the middle of both cities, and there's not really much to do if you don't want to drive to LA or drive to San Diego. There's not really much to do. But I would say it's kind of like the desert of California. Like it's a very dry climate. Like there's a lot of dirt, a lot of sand, a lot of hills, a lot of mountains. But yeah, I would say I grew up there for most of my life, besides when I was younger. And it's kind of just the city where you go. I don't want to say anything too bad about it because it is my
Yeah.
city, but not a lot of people live there for a reason, but it's what I call home, so it has a special place in my
Okay.
heart.
So yeah, that doesn't sound like a tourist pitch at
No,
all. That
definitely
didn't
not.
work. Especially
Definitely
when you
not.
said like the first thing that you said, there's a lot of dirt, and people are like,
Uh-huh.
okay, okay, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting.
Love to
Yeah.
see that. Yeah.
Okay. So that's but still that's home, right? And do you think you would ever leave California like for longer than the trip with your mom, for example, if it wasn't for basketball?
No. I think California's there's a lot of different aspects as to why people love it. And I can't imagine myself living anywhere else for a long period of time other than California. I guess the only place I would live and did is Arizona. But other
Hmm.
than that, like maybe I would go live in Puerto Rico for a long time because I love the beach. That's probably
Okay.
also why I love California. But yeah, I need a body of water next to me. So
Okay, okay. And how is Toulouse taking care of that? So do you have any like
um
what is there like a beach there?
The beach is about an hour and a half away, which is
Yeah.
what I would experience going to LA anyway. So I would say that's not too much of a big difference. And then like here you have like kind of the river that runs throughout the city. So I've walked along it and like just being around like a body of water and that sense of like peace and tranquility it can give you. I think that that's a different component that not a lot of people realize, but that's very important for me.
Okay. So now let's try because you've been in Toulouse for 2 weeks now, right? Or a week and a half, something like
Yes,
that.
about
Um,
that, yeah.
let's try a tourist pitch for Toulouse. Maybe it will come out better
Wow.
than the one for Moreno Valley.
A tourist pitch for Toulouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like did you get like from personal experience, which has been like relatively short, did you get to, I don't know, taste the food, uh see some stuff apart from the festival, walk along the river probably, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I would say Toulouse is a very like low key and chill town. Like there's a lot of things to do. It's a really big city, like a lot of shopping to do. But if you want like kind of like the city feeling without like kind of like the anxiety that a busy city can give you, I would say Toulouse is perfect for that. You can walk around and, get a cup of coffee and go sit by the river and not 20 people are rushing next to you like how it would be in Paris. So I would say it's kind of the best of both worlds. Like you still get the tourist attractions with the art and the history, but you still get kind of like the leisure luxury of not being in a big, big city.
Yeah. I mean that's not an unpopular opinion, but I think that Paris is a bit overrated because it's so crowded and it's like the
Yes.
everyday life gets in the way of you as a tourist just enjoying the city. So it's probably better to
Yes.
visit just those smaller cities, right? And
Hmm.
I also would like to end our interview with asking you about, are you a fashionable person or not really? Are you into fashion or
So.
okay.
Like,
Okay.
I
So you're
think
not an
being here,
expert. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
no, not an
Because I
expert,
wanted
but
to, yeah, because I wanted to ask you about the jerseys that you're gonna play and how would you rate them?
uh-huh. Oh,
Because
they're beautiful.
they're pretty
They're
cool.
beautiful, yeah. Especially the pink. I don't know if we're gonna have pink this year because there's been talks about like league rule changes where they don't want us wearing pink. But in the past, when I have seen those pink jerseys, I was like, wow, like I love pink jerseys. I love the color pink. So I was like, wow, that's kind of cute. But yeah, I'm not no expert in fashion, but maybe France can help me out with that.
Okay. And hopefully we will see you achieve a lot of success wearing those pink jerseys or any other
Yeah,
jerseys they
yeah,
decide you to
yeah.
wear. Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Trinity, for finding the time and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you so
Yep.
much.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Bye.